Hello everyone, how are we? My last video I said that there was a few more subjects that I needed to touch base on. And one was the abuse of me from my stepfather. In my teen years. Now, I've been guided today to come and address this for you all because there's someone out there that needs to hear this. Bear with me because this is not probably going to be the easiest thing to hear, nor is it going to be easy for me to get the right words. So I've asked my spirit guides to try and help me through this and to give me the correct words to use, because there is people out there that need to hear this, and they need, because they're going through it right now. And unfortunately, so it's never an easy subject to approach, even if you haven't gone through it. Mine started, we'll just start at the beginning. Mine started around the time I was about 12. It was what I know now as what's classed as grooming. I won't go into any details. I'm sure we all know what is entailed in that. And then it just goes on from there. This was my stepfather. I'm not going to give any names. Those that know me will know who I'm talking about. And this continued on until I left when I was 20. I left to go to Sydney because I needed to get away. I needed to get completely out of that toxic environment. Now, all this time, we only lived in a 2-bedroom house. My mother knew. For whatever reason, she didn't do anything about it. I have dealt with that pain about why didn't she do anything. She has her own reasons. She has her own problems and demons to deal with. I don't hate anybody because all this happened. As we know, when we come into this world, we come in with a contract, and they all have done what they needed to do to get me to where I am today, and I will be grateful for grateful for what has transpired from the others, not the perpetrator, although that was still in the contract. I don't know how you can say you can be grateful for that in itself, but they all played the role that they needed to play, because I believe they loved me that much, everybody. Now, I was very lucky. I had some very loving extended family, on my mum's side and my dad's side. My dad's sides showed me exactly what a family is supposed to be. And you get to it's I have voiced it to some of my dad's family, and they said that sorry, we didn't know. And this is the thing: if you suspect somebody is being molested, and the word I want to say is vilified, and I don't even know if I said that right, but that's the word that was in my head, vilified. If you think or have any suspicion, dig deeper, because we get to hide it We know how to act. We know how to hide it from everybody because we're told we need to hide it. It's just how it's like if you don't do it this particular way, then you're in trouble too because you're allowing it to happen. And I was 12. I had no idea. I didn't even know at that stage where babies came from. So that's how sheltered my life was until this guy came into our life. Now, I've done a lot of healing around the particular person. I've also spoken or I've actually spoken to him in my meditations. I've actually also had contact with him in any time I've been to a medium, clairvoyant. And he has apologized many times. He's very sorry for what happened. He also said that he had a very, very bad childhood upbringing, which he also then said straight away that it's no excuse. It's no excuse. He should never have done it, but it's happened. Through even seances, like I know some people shy away from seances, but I tell you what, I have had so much healing through through seances that has helped me healed immensely from this, because they come through and they talk to you and through people that have no idea who you are and would have no idea what went down, and they say the things that no one would know. So to give you a bit of an idea of what it looked like back then, well, he wanted me always to pick a fight with him, so it looked like that we weren't talking and that we weren't friends. And then all of a sudden it was like I needed to, if he was going out in the truck or going somewhere, he told me that I said I needed to go with him and that I was going. And I just had to do all these play acting stuff that I didn't want to go. He told me that if I didn't do any of this stuff and I didn't do what he asked me to do, then he would then hurt my sisters. I had 2 younger sisters. I was the oldest. One was not his. One was. The youngest one was his, and she was very young. She was the youngest and she was the baby, and I was very protective of her as well. But then he always said too that, because I used to always challenge him about, why are you doing this? How can you do this sort of thing? And he goes, because you're not blood, was always his. So I knew then my younger sister was safe, but then I knew my other sister wasn't safe, the one in the middle. And he would always say that you can't do anything about it. You can't go to the police, because I can always say that you wanted it and you enjoyed it and all that sort of stuff. And I'll tell you one thing now, I never did. And nobody ever does. Like, even if your body reacts in a certain way because something's happening, it doesn't mean that you wanted it. Never wanted it. So, and I was always treated by my mother as the other woman. So I had didn't feel like I could go to her. My grandmother, she wouldn't have known. She worked it out just after I left when I went to Sydney, and I was talking to her on the phone, and she kind of knew, and she asked me straight up, and I said yes. She stopped talking to him. He wasn't allowed to go to any functions for the family, especially where she was concerned, which didn't really help because it was just a constant reminder. Then I was trying to get away from it, and it was just a constant reminder that this all happened, and it just continued on from there. The day I felt relief and that it was finally and always going to be was the day I left for Sydney. The day I left and went there to live and to work, I knew then that I was free. And as time got on, he got a lot older. He was a lot older than Mum in the beginning. He got a lot older and I had no issues, and I just knew that it was me that he wanted. It wasn't anybody else. I tried it many times to stop. He tried then sometimes to interfere with my sister just to prove a point. And all the time, all I wanted to do was protect my sisters. And those that know me will say, well, then why did you let him around my boys? Well, the fact is that, first of all, they were boys. And secondly, I just knew that it was safe because of just stuff that's gone down, that happened, and you just know. And he did love those boys like they were his grandsons, and that was fine. That was good. And my boys liked him and loved him for the grandfather that he was. There was never any issue. First of all, I was always, and there were kids. Like, he wasn't really into kids. I didn't look like a kid when it was all started. I looked like a full-blown female woman that had everything, had the female breasts and all that sort of stuff. Like, I was very developed for a 12-year-old, like, not into boys. So I knew that was safe. I knew that was all good. And he was older, and I really don't think he was able to perform anyway or do anything. So, yeah, mainly I think if you have any suspicions that someone is being messed with and being molested or raped or whatever in their circumstances, please drag that person, that victim that's being done to. And at first they're not going to say, yes, it's happening. But they eventually will, because someone then now understands them. If I had somebody that came up to me and said straight up, like Grandma did, even on the phone, and I could go somewhere and be protected, I would have. But I had nobody, and it was made clear that I had nobody. My mother knew everything. My mother, he would give me money and I would give it to her. She knew where it came from. She didn't care. I don't know what her story is. I've never spoken to her about it. She never wanted to talk about it. So whatever she needed to do, she did. As I said, I don't hate anybody in this situation. I've healed a lot from it, even from the fact that my younger sister, who I helped, like she was just it for me. Like she was I just protected her too. She was very little when I was only 12 or something when she was born. So I always felt like her mum, the little mum, and I was always changing her nappy and all that sort of stuff. And we were very, very close. I thought. And she said what she said. She was fighting her own demons. I mean, what person wants to find out that their father's been doing this to your older sister? So I forgive her too for everything she has said to me. I don't think we'll ever be talking. I talk a little bit to my sister only if I have to, my other sister, when we go to family things. That's fine. We don't have to be in each other's pocket. I don't think it's ever going to go back anyway, the way it was before. I'm now stepped away from all that. I can't deal. I can deal with it, but I don't think they can deal with it, to be honest. They don't even want to acknowledge that it's happened. They don't even want to acknowledge that I'm talking about it. Because I believe that you need to talk about it. They don't. They don't even believe in going to counsellors or therapists or anything like that. I do. I don't know where I'd be without my therapist. I go to a psychologist. I go to kinesiologist. I do things that heal me, and I'm a better person for it now. I feel better within myself. I'm not the victim anymore. I don't play the victim. I'll never, just please, if anyone can see that something's happening to somebody, step in. Please. If you need help, if you want, any sort of help and guidance, I'm here. I truly am here for anybody that needs anything like that. Even if you think there's something happening, come and talk to me, and we can go from there, because every situation is different. And as I'm talking about that, I'm going all goosey because I know there's somebody out there. There might even be one, there might be 100, I don't know. But there are people going through this. And I think the more we talk about it and the more we bring it out in the open, some person's not going to have to go through that again, ever. And I know it's a cliche that, I don't want anyone else to go through this. I've heard it many times on the TV, but it's true. Nobody needs to go through that stuff, surely. I'm yet to understand why it was in my contract, but I feel it was to evolve me into what I am today. I am a very strong person. I am very, I feel put together, even better. Like I just feel complete now. I'm just a different person. I do not like anything put in the shadows. I am truth right down to the middle. And that was the other thing he used to tell everybody, that I was a liar. I'm no more than a liar. I'm no liar. Never have been. I've always spoken the truth. But that's what they do. They make out that this particular person is this, that, and the other, and nobody listens to them. And I've found my voice now. Like before, I wasn't allowed to talk. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I was only supposed to act out what he wanted me to act out. And that's the only time I got to talk. If I spoke before that, I would get clout from mum. Like it was just how I was brought up as well. Looked sideways, you get a smack. So I was very conditioned from the get-go, and, it is what it is. It's happened. I've unpacked it all with my therapist. We've dealt with it. We've gone through it. I believe I've healed it and sealed it. But I also believe that I need to get out there and put it out there that there is help for you. And if you need to put your hand up, someone will help you. Someone will catch you. You don't need to go through this. If you're watching this and you're going through it right now, go and get help. Get some help from somewhere. Contact me. Somehow or other we will get you help. And maybe, we can do this. You don't have to go through this. I'm serious. There are better ways. You just don't have to do this. So, please, I am here for you. So anybody, even if you're watching something that you think, if you're in an environment, like I said, that you can see that things aren't right, say something. Say something to the person you think it's happening to. Speak up. Get it out there in the open so it can stop and so you can start to heal. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it there now. Comment down the bottom if you need anything, anybody, I'm here. It's time all this sort of stuff stopped. There's no need for this stuff. It's been going on too long with people, and an end needs to come. Okay, thank you. Be gentle with yourself.